Oh, goodness me, let me take you back to that fateful morning when everything I thought I knew about my marriage came crashing down. I was standing in my kitchen, the sun streaming in through the window, casting golden light on the countertop, when my husband Harold's phone buzzed like it had a mind of its own. He'd forgotten it there, you see, in his hurry to run an errand. I picked it up, and there it was, a text from some woman named Lena. Last night was incredible. Can't wait for more. My hands trembled, my heart pounded like a drum in my chest. But instead of breaking down, I did something bold. I replied for him, and oh, honey, the fallout was something no one saw coming. It was betrayal, heartbreak, and the sweetest kind of justice all rolled into one. Now, if you've ever been blindsided by someone you love, or if you've fantasied about that perfect moment when the truth comes out and sets you free, do me a favor, hit that like button to show you're with me on this. Subscribe to my channel for more of these real-life stories straight from the heart of an old grandma who's seen it all, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. Grab your favorite blanket, settle in, and let's unfold this tale together. It's going to touch your soul, I promise you that. Oh, my dear listeners, pull up a chair and let's chat like old friends over a pot of tea. It's me, your Grandma Hattie, nestled here in my cozy living room with the floral wallpaper that's been up since the 70s and the quilt my mama made draped over my knees. The clock on the mantel is ticking away the minutes, and outside, the wind is whispering through the oak trees that Harold and I planted when we first bought this house. Harold, oh, where do I even begin with him? We've shared 53 years together, through joys that made our hearts sing and sorrows that tested our very souls. But let me tell you, honey, even after all that time, life can still surprise you in the most painful ways. This story I'm about to share is one of those, a tale of love, betrayal, secrets hidden in plain sight, and the kind of quiet revenge that comes from a place of deep hurt but even deeper strength. I suppose I should start way back at the beginning, because to understand the shock of that day, you need to know the foundation we built. I was born Hattie Mae Wilkins in a tiny town in Kentucky, back in 1942, when the world was at war and folks were making do with what little they had. My daddy was a farmer, hands rough from mowing fields, and my mama was the heart of our home, baking bread that could make your mouth water from a mile away. I was the oldest of 6 siblings, 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and from the time I could walk, I was helping out. Milking the cows at dawn, their warm flanks against my side, the steam rising from the bucket in the cool morning air. Gathering eggs from the hen house, careful not to disturb the broody hens who pecked at my fingers if I wasn't quick enough. Churning butter until my arms ached, the rhythmic slosh slosh echoing in the kitchen while Mama hummed hymns. Those days shaped me, you see. They taught me that life is hard work, but it's the love you pour into it that makes it worthwhile. I had a wild streak, though, red hair like fire and a laugh that carried across the fields. At school, I was the girl who organized the games at recess, always the one to climb the highest tree or race the boys to the creek. But deep down, I dreamed of a family of my own, a home filled with children's laughter and a husband who looked at me like I was the only star in the sky. I met Harold at a church social when I was just 17. It was summer, the air thick with the scent of honeysuckle and barbecue smoke wafting from the grills. He was 19, apprenticed to a carpenter in town, with broad shoulders from hauling lumber and eyes as brown as the rich soil after rain. He asked me to dance during the square dance, his hand warm in mine as we duet-I-did under the string lights. "You're the prettiest girl here, Hattie," he said, blushing a bit, and I felt my cheeks heat up too. We courted for a year, walks along the riverbank, where the water gurgled over stones and frogs croaked in the reeds, picnics with fried chicken and lemonade, sitting on a checker-edged blanket while he told me about his dreams of building beautiful things with his hands. He proposed on my 18th birthday, down on one knee under the big oak tree in his parents' yard, the leaves rustling like applause. The ring was simple, a thin gold band with a tiny diamond that caught the light just so, but it was everything to me. We married in the spring of 1960, in the little white church where I'd been baptized, with wildflowers in my bouquet and my sisters as bridesmaids in pastel dresses Mama sewed herself. The reception was in the church hall, with cake baked by Aunt Louise and punch that fizzed on your tongue. Harold and I danced to Unchained Melody, his arms around me, whispering, "Hattie, this is forever." We set up house in a small cottage on the edge of town, rented from his uncle. It was tiny, one bedroom, a kitchen with a wood stove, and a porch where we could sit and watch the sun set over the hills. Harold worked long hours at the carpentry shop, coming home with sawdust in his hair and splinters in his fingers, but always with a smile for me. I'd have dinner waiting, pot roast simmering, biscuits golden from the oven, the aroma filling the air like a warm hug. Our first night there, we lay in bed listening to the crickets, his head on my chest, and I thought, this is happiness. Our first child, Ellie, arrived in 1961. Oh, what a day that was. Labor lasted 18 hours, sweat beading on my forehead in the hospital room that smelled of antiseptic and hope. When they placed her in my arms, with her tiny fists waving and my red hair peeking out from under the blanket, I wept. Harold paced the waiting room, then burst in with flowers he'd picked from the roadside, his eyes shining. "She's perfect, Hattie. Just like her mama." We named her after his grandmother, Eleanor, but called her Ellie from the start. She was a fussy baby, up at all hours with colic, but we'd rock her in the chair Harold carved, singing lullabies until the moon dipped low. 2 years later, Tommy came along. A quieter birth, but no less joyful. He was a thoughtful boy from the beginning, with Harold's brown eyes and a curiosity that had him taking apart toys to see how they worked. "He's going to be an inventor," Harold would say proudly, helping him build forts from scrap wood in the backyard. The cottage felt fuller now, with diapers hanging on the line like flags and the sound of little feet pattering on the floors. I quit my part-time job at the diner to stay home, sewing clothes for the kids and tending a small garden where tomatoes ripened red and juicy under the sun. In 1968, when I was 26 and thought our family was complete, Mecca surprised us. I remember the nausea hitting me like a wave, the doctor's confirmation making Harold whoop with joy. "Another blessing, Hattie." She was born on a snowy December day, the world outside blanketed in white, her cries echoing in the delivery room. Mecca was our artist, even as a toddler, scribbling on walls with crayons, her laughter like bells. With 3 kids, life was a whirlwind, packing lunches with peanut butter sandwiches and apples, washing endless loads of laundry that smelled of grass stains and innocence, helping with homework at the kitchen table while supper bubbled on the stove. Harold's business grew during those years. He opened his own shop in 1970, Johnson Carpentry, with a sign he painted himself. He'd craft furniture, tables with intricate legs, chairs that cradled you like arms, and folks from neighboring towns came calling. Money was tight at first, but we made do. I'd pack his lunch every morning, ham on rye, a thermos of coffee, and kiss him goodbye, watching from the porch as he drove off in our old Ford truck, the engine rumbling like a contented cat. But oh, there were hard times too. In 1972, a flood hit the area, waters rising fast from the river, turning streets into muddy streams. Our cottage was spared, but Harold's shop was damaged, tools ruined, projects washed away. He came home that night soaked and defeated, his shoulders slumped. "What are we gonna do, Hattie?" I held him close, the wet of his clothes seeping through my dress. "We'll rebuild, love. Together." We did, with help from neighbors, loans scraped together, and my taking in mending work. Ellie, at 11, helped by babysitting siblings. Tommy collected bottles for pennies. Mecca drew pictures to cheer us up. It brought us closer, those trials, like fire forging steel. Then, in 1975, my mama passed. Cancer, quick and cruel. I nursed her in her final weeks, holding her hand as she weakened, her skin paper thin. Harold was my pillar, driving me to her house daily, cooking for the kids, whispering comfort in the dark nights when grief choked me. "She's at peace now, Hattie." The funeral was a blur of black dresses and casseroles brought by friends, the scent of lilies heavy in the air. It taught me about loss, how it carves hollows in your heart but makes room for more love. The kids grew up fast. Ellie was a straight-A student, always with her nose in a book, dreaming of college. Tommy tinkered in the garage, building model cars that whirred and zoomed. Mecca painted everything, canvases, rocks, even the dog once, much to our amusement. Family vacations were simple, camping in the woods, roasting marshmallows over crackling fires, stories told under stars that twinkled like diamonds. Holidays were grand, Thanksgiving with turkey stuffed with sage dressing, the table groaning under yams, green beans, and pumpkin pie, Christmas with a tree we cut ourselves, ornaments handmade by the kids hanging from branches that smelled of pine. In 1980, Ellie met Mark at a dance. He was charming, with slick hair and a fast car, but something about him set my teeth on edge, too smooth, too quick with compliments. They eloped a year later, at 19, breaking my heart. "Mon, I love him," she said over the phone, voice defiant. Harold and I argued with her, doors slamming in our house for the first time. "She's making a mistake," I cried into his shoulder. But she went, and we waited, praying. A year later, she came back, bruised in spirit, pregnant with Sarah. Mark had turned mean, drinking too much, spending money we didn't know he had. We welcomed her home, no questions, just love. Sarah was born in 1982, a bundle of joy with Ellie's red hair, and she healed some wounds. Tommy enlisted in the Army in 1984, at 21. "I want to see the world, Dad." Harold beamed with pride, but I worried, knitting scarves for him as if yarn could protect. He shipped to Germany, then the Middle East, letters arriving sporadically, stamped with foreign postmarks. Each one was a relief. "I'm safe, Mon. Miss your pie." Mecca struggled in school, dyslexia, the teachers said, but she shone in art class, her paintings winning local awards. "You're talented, baby," I'd say, hanging them on the fridge with magnets shaped like fruits. By the 90s, the kids were out on their own. Ellie remarried a kind man, a teacher named Paul, and had 2 more kids, Ben and Clara. Tommy came home from the Army, married his high school sweetheart Lisa, and took over Harold's shop. They had Jake and Lima, rambunctious boys who loved fishing with their grandpa. Mecca moved to the city, became a graphic designer, met her husband David, and had the twins Mia and Noah. Grandkids filled our house on weekends, laughter echoing, sticky fingers on everything. Harold and I levered in it, spoiling them with cookies baked fresh, stories of our youth told in the rocking chair. We aged gracefully. Harold's hair turned silver, his step slower from arthritis in his knee. My red locks faded to white, lines etching my face like a map of life. But our love? Steady as ever. We'd walk hand in hand in the garden, where roses bloomed pink and fragrant, bees buzzing lazily. Evenings on the porch swing, watching sunsets paint the sky in oranges and pinks, his head on my shoulder. "Hattie, you're still the prettiest girl," he'd say, and I'd laugh, feeling young. Harold returned, whistling. "Pie smells great." Kiss attempted, I turned. Dinner tense, me quiet, him chatting about nails. Bed, his snores, my insomnia, mind racing. Morning, breakfast cooked, eggs sizzling, bacon crisp. "You okay, Hattie?" "Fine." Noon neared. Table set with rose china, tea brewing, chamomile calming. Doorbell. "Lena, pale," Harold said, "yard talk?" He blanched. "Sit," I said, voice steel under honey. Tea poured, steam rising. I saw the text. All. Chaos. Harold stammered, Lena cried. Admissions, started with coffee, escalated. Felt alive, he said. Alive? I felt dead inside. Kids called, arrived, outrage. Counseling decided, no divorce. Lena left town, custody lost to ex, justice. We healed slow, vows renewed under oak, family around. Family is precious, but guard your heart.